Thanks for joining today's snapshot for March 29th, Monday of Holy Week. Today is the death day and therefore the feast day, or commemoration, I should say, of Hans Nielsen Haugey, who died in Norway in 1824, having been born 5 years before the American Revolution. Now, you may say, what's that to me? Well, Hans Nielsen Haugey was a very important person to a group of Norwegian Lutherans who still claim his heritage. Haugey was a lay preacher. He wrote 30 books, traveled around Norway, and he stressed a mystical experience that he had early in his life and encouraged people to have their own faithful living faith, I should say. Rather than a formal worship. They were very low church, no smells and bells, no collars, no vestments. And in fact, that tradition still carries on today among a group of Lutheran clergy and lay leaders. I come from a high church Swedish background. My dad wore a Zorro cape when he shook hands at the door. He wore a black preaching cassock with a large sash around his waist. And I would never dream of leading worship without a collar. And there are others in our church who would never wear a collar. I suspect maybe some of our ordained lay members of Dr. Martin Luther Church. I couldn't believe it when I met my first Lutheran clergy person who said he didn't own a collar. Well, he comes from the Hoggy Synod tradition, which was a break off from a Norwegian church settled down in Jefferson Settlement, down by the Illinois border, southwest of Oconomowoc. It just goes to show you the diversity of our backgrounds within the Lutheran Church. I was cleaning out some files yesterday and I found this chart that I got in Pennsylvania years ago. And these are all branches of Lutheranism that came to the United States as Estonians, Swedes, Norwegians, Germans, and now are eventually becoming amalgamated into one church body. There's 4 pages of this. You can't believe how many different Lutheran church bodies there are. Well, thank goodness we don't have to have uniformity to have unity. Each of these church bodies, from Latvian to Icelandic to Estonian to Swedish, bring their own, and Finnish, I should say, bring their own point of view and their own insights and gifts, and we can be grateful for that. Let's conclude with this hymn. Blessed be the tie that binds our hearts in Christian love. The unity of heart and mind is like to that above. Happy Hans Nielsen Haugey Day to our Norwegian friends in the Lutheran Church. God bless you all this Holy Week.